Dale's congratulations. Oh, there it is. Great. Okay, we're live.
Okay, we are live. I'd like to call to order the City of Twin Oaks Board of Aldermen meeting for Wednesday, November 19th, 2025. Please stand for pledge of allegiance. Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, liberty and justice for all.
Call roll, please.
Alderman Cruzen.
Here.
Alderman Stokel.
Here.
Alderman Crawford.
Present.
Mayor Fortune.
Here. Lisa has stepped out. Her son is receiving a sportsman athlete of the month award. Wow. She may or may not be back by the time we finish up. Congratulations to Dylan. Here we have an agenda for tonight's meeting. There are no changes. I'll take a motion to approve the agenda.
Move we approve the agenda.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Agenda is approved. Any comments? Okay. We have consent agenda, Board of Aldermen regular meeting minutes from November the 5th, special meeting minutes from November the 5th, bills list, November the 1st, November 14th, here comes Lisa. Credit card statement for October 2025. That was quick. I hear a motion to approve the consent agenda. Motion to approve consent agenda. Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Consent agenda is approved. Board of Committees, guess what? Dave Watson.
Give me one more. Okay, so the financial statement for the 10 months ended October 31st, 2025 is included in materials. Again, not a whole lot new to report, especially that all of talking about a few minutes ago. On the balance sheet on page 1, we have about $2.3 million in cash and certificates of deposit at the end of October, which compares to about 2.17 a year ago. Good. That's reflected in the flow of funds. If you look on page 2, we've received revenues of $1,580,000. For the first 10 months, spent $1,381,000. So we brought in about $200,000 more so far in 2025. The sales tax up 15%. The investment income up considerably. Things are higher, and having the certificate of deposit is helping generate more revenue there. On the expenditure side, things are going pretty much as planned. Capital improvements up about 123,000 from 113,000 from a year ago. That's specific projects. Still have money to go there. So on page 3 is the sales, let's break down the sales tax numbers. It kind of eliminates some of the lines that I've been showing before. I think it's a little cleaner look at it. And it shows the bottom graph shows the continued uphill movement of sales tax. Well above what we have budgeted 2025 is we've already received about 95% of the total. Four is to reminder of what our budget is for the year for 2025. And our budget as amended earlier this year, we had projected about $2,252,000 a year. We now expect that to be more in the area of $2.6 million based on the 2026 budget. Okay. Good question.
Let's get into questions. Park committee report?
On our last meeting this week, you took the pause in the park. And it was a very successful gathering, very well attended. Few glitches that were discussed, a new way of laying it out maybe to be able to have the puppies being more the center of attention and the adoption with vendors around it, so that big vendors would be more visited than what they were at this gathering. All in all, everybody was very happy about it. The caricature artist, great job. Lots of people love that. And she also teamed up with the Stray Paws. So she's going to be doing some events for them because they felt that was such a great way to be able to pull people work for an event. Other than that, we've got Christmas lighting coming up. Santa's going to be there, lighting. Rosemary Coffee's going to be there. They're going to have some snacks. They're going to have coffee and hot chocolate for purchase down in the park for that. So let's open it up like at 6. Santa's going to arrive at 6:30 and 6:45. We're going to light the park. Have some great ideas for decorating down there for picture selfie opportunities. So that's going well. Reminder that we did have the appreciation dinner that is coming up on Wednesday, December 17th. And dates for next year are going to be greatly reduced for events because of what the construction, we are anticipating construction in the park. That will be after July 3rd. So we're still working on the dates. Of course, Easter, we know that when the Easter egg hunt will be, we know when Arbor Day is going to be, and we know then the July 3rd. After that, bingo, we know is going to be in February. But other than that, we're still working on it. So when our new website comes out, we're going to post all the events and ask everybody to check that to make sure that they know what will be available to them throughout the year.
Date of the lighting.
December 7th.
Along with that park construction, please be sure to tell your friends and neighbors that the park will be open, but the access road will be closed for probably the second half of the year. So that is why park rentals will be severely limited because we just can't have rentals without parking available for people to use it. So we anticipate, being through July 3rd basically, and then kind of putting it into that. And hopefully, at the beginning of the year, we'll have a more firm calendar. We just want people to have the expectation that there will be limitations on the park next year because of the projects we have.
Any questions?
Thank you. Okay, that takes us to bill number 25-14.
Ordinance providing for the holding of the general election for Twin Oaks, Missouri on April 7th, 2026.
Who's up for election? Yeah.
And Bill, again,
Good luck.
Well,
Just a good job.
so again, we will be doing the election registration for the Board of Elections, so that will be up at St. Anne's. Second or third.
Yeah.
Go around doing that, so if anybody
We had to
you know is
register that.
interested, be sure to tell them that they have to go up to the Board of Elections office and fill out their paperwork.
Also, just a reminder, I think we have to file our ethics reports fairly soon. End of the year, I think.
I think it's in the year. Yeah. They usually email you,
Send you an
so
They do usually say.
they will email you, yes. It'll go straight from you.
Okay, is there a motion to adopt 25-14?
I move we adopt 25-14.
All in favor?
Aye.
We'll adopt bill number 25-14 by unanimous vote. Bill number 20.
Roll vote on that?
Yeah, we gotta
Yeah, we
go.
gotta go on.
Oh,
It's an ordinance, not
Not a resolution. Yeah, roll call.
Alderman Eisenhower? Yes. Alderman Cruzen?
Yes.
Alderman Stokel?
Yes.
Alderman Crawford?
Yes.
Bill number 25-14 becomes ordinance 25-14 by unanimous vote. Bill number 25-15.
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a second addendum to the police service agreement with St. Louis County, Missouri.
It's just signing up for next year.
No,
No,
it's for
this
this
is for
round.
the
Adding the draw.
Okay, sorry.
been grounded until this gets.
By the way, I want to go back to 25-15, would you read the second?
An ordinance authorizing the mayor to execute a second addendum to the police service agreement with St. Louis County, Missouri.
I move we adopt 25-15.
Second.
Roll please.
Alderman Eisenhower? Yes. Alderman Cruzen?
Yes.
Alderman Stokel?
Yes.
Alderman Crawford?
Yes.
Bill 25-15 becomes ordinance 25-15 by unanimous vote. Going back to 25-14, we only read it once. So let's read it again and revote.
Bill number 25-14, an ordinance providing for the holding of the general election for Twin Oaks, Missouri on April 7th, 2020. Alderman.
Well, we have to have a motion.
Oh, yeah.
Move to adopt Bill 25-14. Second.
Alderman Eisenhower? Yes. Alderman Cruzen?
Yes.
Alderman Stokel?
Yes.
Alderman Crawford?
Yes.
Okay, Bill 25-14 becomes ordinance 25-14 by unanimous vote. Public Works report, Jake. We've been up to.
Just a little bit, still busy enough, I think so. How you guys doing tonight? So, the public works maintenance update, met with Harvey's, a month ago now, meeting with 1318 Boley, got that taken care of and all cut, trimmed back. So it looks a lot better. I think the whole neighborhood appreciates that one. We ended up buying a little yard sweeper to pull behind the side by side so we can kind of clean up between when Harvey's coming in and out. We've been using that, staying busy blowing and sweeping leaves down the park. All the curbs got replaced along Boley and Burnham Woods Trail, so we've been, we're gonna, maybe tomorrow we might be able to stripe that, the little bit that needs to be, we'll blow it all back and do a nice new white stripe along there. Took the trailer that was full of metal and stuff that we kind of collected and scrapped the old little trailer that kind of broke, took it in and just got some petty cash out of that now. We've been up in the cow pond area, we've been brush hogging that and kind of cleaning it up. It looks really nice. Yeah, I mean, it's probably an acre and a half or so, maybe a little bit more than that up there. We, let's say about 3/4 of an acre probably cleared off. Just, but nicer looking now than what it was. Got about a lot of the new radar sign, solar radar signs came in, so we've been taking out the old ones. We're gonna send those back and actually give them like a refresh back to the company that we bought them from. But they didn't send us the right faceplate. They sent us the smaller size faceplate, so it won't go on. So that's why it looks kind of like what it does right now. As soon as they come in, hopefully in the next day or maybe next week, I guess we'll put those on there and send back the old ones to get updated. We'll figure out places to put the battery ones basically, you know, because everyone down there on Boley and Burnham Woods and everything is going to ultimately is going to be the solar ones.
Just so you're aware, the new faceplates are yellow and they are required to be yellow by the new MUTCD requirements. So if anyone asks why we have yellow faceplates now.
So on the other ones, should we get them replaced or should we just?
Unless they say that we're required to, I would just leave them unless we want them all to match, but you have to reach out to Radar Sign and see if they would do that for cameras or at what expense that would be.
Basically, kind of what I have going on right now.
Do we have to replace that light up at volume? Big
We
bid?
We do,
That's ours?
yes. So we've already been, Jason working on that,
Do we charge the,
potentially file an insurance claim.
our insurance or the culprits?
So we did turn on the Ameren lights that had been turned off many years ago, at the request of a former board member. So we will have, light up there. It might be a while until we can get that thing aired and, so, if anyone asks, we'll have light.
The new radar things are great.
Those-
Way-
they
way
seem
more
to be working.
sensitive.
Oh, yeah. I mean, we're,
Way back.
I know this house way back. I
Yeah.
was already picking this up, so.
I think it might be checking wheels coming out of the garage.
Good.
You're back up to that.
Okay, thank you. Clerk reports.
Okay, a couple of administrative updates. Mayor Workman and I were out with the MSD subcontractors on Golden Oak. So we did have a quick conversation with them about that area as well as the Northwoods MoDOT retention pond. So we had some direction to call and talk to some people about that issues over there. The website is moving along. They do have kind of a draft version going, so I anticipate, I don't want to unveil it to you guys till we're totally done, but it's vastly improved over what we have, and functionality, most importantly, is going to be so much better. So we're going to start staff training on that in the next couple of weeks with the new modules that will have, like the 311 system where you'll be able to report potholes, streetlights out, that kind of thing. That'll be available to the public. So we're getting trained on those pretty soon. And I think Paul mentioned a little bit, the 2026 calendar is almost completed. So there you will see some format changes to the calendar this year, both for ease and quickness of us printing it and cost. So it'll be a little bit different than it's looked in the past, but it's going to turn out great and we'll love it. So there is a new committee, I think, that's part of the condos that has offered to be sort of a welcoming committee to the neighborhood. And they are potentially going to distribute the calendars for us and actually knock on doors and talk to people, because we did lose a significant amount of them last year by leaving them at doorsteps when they got rained on and stuff. So if people ask why they haven't gotten a calendar yet, they might have gotten a door knock and went home. We are going to have them up here for people to come and pick up. So if they didn't get one and they want one, they can come to the home. So a couple quick project updates. That we've already gotten underway on the park access pedestrian improvement project. That's the access road, the new sidewalk. The EFA was out doing some topoing of the area last week. Next steps are going to be to put together the formal design plans. So we're still on target to get that under construction in the second half of 2026. We've had several meetings now with Signify and the contractor about the lighting. So they are already preparing for phase 2. We think we've gotten everything done for phase 1 minus we're still waiting on the top caps over where they moved the outlets. So those are still to come in, but all the outlets are moved down. They're all working. The lights appear to be working as we wanted them to. So we'll have some potential there for extra lighting in the park that we might do, that staff might do in-house. So like kind of back further when the outlets available. So I do anticipate that we'll get that all wrapped up by this Friday, and I'll have the invoice for that phase 1 on the next bills list on December 3rd. And because of all the delays they have different things, they're already working on phase 2, so we can potentially move on that Wi-Fi head and get that Wi-Fi going as soon as possible in 2026. And then I did mention a little bit that we've gotten some movement on the TAC grant. So I've gotten some updates. I've been in contact with our MoDOT contact several times this week, starting to go through the paperwork slog that is going to be this project just to get it underway. So several forms we have to fill out and estimates we have to do just to get the RFQ out there for the preliminary engineering. So that's kind of what I'm working on. And we have to do an environmental review as well. So I'm looking through all those requirements that come with this MoDOT grant. That's,
You know what that looks like, the environmental?
I do not yet. I have, a lot to find out. So I'm learning a lot. I went through that whole LPA training, which helped some, but there's a lot to, administering a MoDOT, federal grant, so. And then one more thing I wanted to mention about the calendar is that there is, one meeting in June of next year that we are going to potentially move, so the June 17th meeting, and why I'm asking if we'll be putting this in the calendar, Board of Aldermen meeting June 17th, we're gonna move that to the following week, June 24th. So that way we do not have to have the first meeting in July, which is usually around the 3rd of July. So we'll cancel the July 1st meeting, 17th to 24th. That works for everybody. I know it's a long way out. Sure. Anyway, it will be on the calendar and I will of course remind you several times. So other than that, any questions for me?
Paul?
Just working with Dave on that, tap grant ordinance so that we can get that approved next meeting so that we can keep that thing moving. Other than that,
Okay, I'd like to report on my favorite project, the Cherokee project. Oh, you're all dying to know what's going on. With the help of the prosecuting attorney's office and the contractor, things have been moving along in a forward direction. A lot of the violations have been worked off. I don't know if any of you have been by the property, but all the vehicles are moved. They're planting grass and cleaning up the whole area. We're down to a couple issues, which are, one of them's minor because the wall that they put in, they do have to permit application in now. We're waiting for county to do a final inspection on it. I think that will pass. Stormwater control is the big one. The civil engineer came out and made some recommendations to the contractor on some additional things that he would like to see. He also went back to the contractor. The civil engineer recommended that the silt fences remain in place through the winter. We also told the contractor that we want to make sure that all the silt fences are inspected and installed properly and functional. And he also recommended an additional silt fence, and he also recommended an additional area to seed and plant bare area, plant vegetation there. And April and I are hoping for a nice rain on Friday morning, so we can go out and see what's going on with erosion at the property line back there. So they have a list of things that we needed to work off, and as soon as they give us a timeline when those are going to be done, then we're going to have BFA go onto the site and inspect all of the items.
Those initial recommendations were from their engineer, not from ours.
Right. And however, going forward with the stormwater, anything that we do with them is going to be conditional on what rains we see next spring, et cetera. We may come back with additional things that we want them to do. So once they work off this list, I'm going to still kind of maintain the position that, okay, it looks okay for now, but over time we're going to have to see if this works. So it is moving along. The contractor met with the family today to give them more of this things that need to be done yet. And so now we're waiting on the timeline to come back with the contractor. But it seems to be working much better with the contractor doing the work. And I also noticed that the properties that are now in the name of father and mother, for some reason, they changed the property. I noticed that today. One was in Alex's name, it's now in mother's father's name. Don't know why. But things seem to be moving along. I wouldn't say satisfactory. It's moving it's in a positive direction. Okay, something to think about, I think mid-year, you know, I'm looking at these numbers that we're, producing next year, and I'm looking at that reserve. The reserve, you know, we thought this year we were spending some of that reserve down, actually we're adding to it every year. So, I think mid-year, we probably want to make an adjustment, and some of the things that comes to mind, we have this beautiful street lighting out here on Big Bend. We have nothing down to the library, thinking that maybe, you know, that's something that we could do. We could also run some more lights down the Bowley. Anyway, there may be some more projects that we want to do, so if you want to be thinking about that, we might want to make a mid-year adjustment to the budget and add some stuff. It's a good problem. Okay, that's all I have. Jim?
No, I think the lighting would be good along there, transportation. They had kind of a boundary for no, so. Forward.
No, the only thing I have is thank you for letting me run out of my back end.
Congratulations on
Went to
Dylan.
their board meeting. Yeah, no, my kid is, like, starting esports school, so. I'm not sure athletes apply to this one, but apparently falls under that umbrella, so we like it. But, yeah, so just thanks for letting me.
Joe?
Do we have anything on the horizon for like, shred days or, take back days?
We do not, the 7th precinct does drug take back all the time. We do not have a shred on the calendar. It's something we can look into. They certainly do, St. Louis County actually does a grant program that you can do, where you can do e-recycling, shred. The challenge is having a spot for that. So that has always been kind of the logistics, especially if we do e-recycling or whatever, the line that comes with that is very difficult to manage. So you have to have a big enough parking area to funnel people through, and we just haven't really had that spot identified yet.
Can we do any hazardous waste disposal stuff?
That I don't know. I could look into that and see. I'm not sure if that was covered under.
I don't know about anybody else, but I got old paint cans lining up.
Yeah, we could look into that. That
Place in,
We
they
don't.
got a little, the Canadians place in
South
South
County.
County.
I know, I've been there.
Oh, yeah, well, you can take,
Spring.
yeah, that's true.
It's
just- Something we could definitely look into for the spring, because I think they do the grants every year, and it's just a matter of capacity and having the right place to hold something like that. Because once people hear about it, so we've been told from the Manchester, our neighbors in Manchester, that it is very, very popular, and people line up, and it's very well attended, and we have to have a nice big area to hold something.
I was thinking of something like fill up the back of Jake's truck.
Yeah.
He brought it down. So,
Like, they drive down the street, we throw something. Yeah.
anything else? No.
Just a couple things, the curbs look great. So, people appreciate that. But the other thing I wanted to comment on was the positive park event. I've gotten a lot of really positive comments on that. I think it was really well run. It just shows that people care at least as much about their dogs as they do their children. Maybe a little more. Anyway, it's a great event. We were always quick to say when they don't go well, but that was a really good one.
And that whole thing was Paula's idea, so she gets all the kudos for that. I really was her idea.
Pause event.
Yeah, exactly. We're gonna call it, no.
The PP event. Final citizen comment. With that, take a motion to adjourn.
I'm over adjourned.
All fair.
Aye.
I'm done.
Trigger finger than I.